call him up, and he tuned in, and we talked about synthesizers for like an hour, so that was cool.
Oh, that's dope. I'm actually gonna see him in 3 days, I guess.
Yeah? Where is he playing near you?
Yeah, he's actually playing in Vancouver, oddly enough. He was just here, too, with Ed Russian Optical, but he's coming again with Charlie, Dirty Phonics, and fucking Adam, Abstract.
Nice. Well, I mean, when he came before, he was playing drum and bass. Now he's playing dubstep.
Right, yeah, exactly. He played a wicked set, though. I really, really enjoyed it. But, I mean, I guess I like drum and bass a lot.
I feel you.
He did a good set, for sure.
Welcome, everybody, to Demolition Thursday! I know we're late.
We are late.
So, for those playing along at home, Redline Reload, or more the Hangout Crew is like limping along right now. So, we've got Mel, and then we've got our special guest Sub Antix joining us. What up, dude?
What's up, dude?
So, and then I am at my buddy Kyle's house, so I had to reset up the whole stream, but I got it figured out, and there's an echo of what I'm saying about a second after I say it in my headphones. So I'm going to talk really slowly and awkwardly, but we're going to do this. We're going to make it through. Let me see. Shout out to Heretic in the chat, Seraph in the chat. Wampa, yes, I did get your tune. We'll definitely play it. Shouts to Whitcomb. Yeah, so this is my buddy Kyle's house, and he's got this super sexy Complete Control S88 keyboard. It's amazing. It's got, like, weighted keys, and when you hit the keys, they, like, light up. Super sexy.
I know that keyboard. That's a really nice one.
Ugh, I want it so bad. I'm super jealous.
88 keys are awesome, especially for us piano players.
Well, yeah, you can actually play piano, too, so it's, like, super helpful.
Yeah.
Let's pick a first tune here. Let me look at my list. A lot of tunes from people we've seen on the show before. Wampa, I don't know if you've been on the show before. I didn't look at the file. But we got DJ View, Heretic, obviously. Let's start with the Heretic tune.
Yeah.
Just because I haven't seen DJ View in the chat yet. Make sure you guys post up the link.
Wobster.
Yeah, Massive Rhythm Wobster is the name of the track. I'm going to load it up here.
I wonder if it's Jump Up.
Surprise! Alright, everybody got the tune loaded up?
Yeah.
Alright, make sure you mute your mic. 3, 2, 1, play. Did you guys get that to work, or was I just streaming it to you the whole time?
I got it to work. I was listening to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like hearing double for a sec.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I can I'll mute my mic, which will mute the music to you guys. Sorry about that. But sick one, Heretic. I wrote down some notes. But let's start with Mel. What are your thoughts on this tune? If you could hear it twice.
I heard it double time, and then I heard it through the stream, and then I heard about 5 seconds of it through Media Player.
Do you want to like listen again?
I might I might mute it and just listen again quick.
Yeah,
That's cool with me.
I'll start with
I'll do that
feedback
quick.
then. So the notes I took were, and I'll just highlight one of the major ones, is the intro was good, but I think it needed one more element. Be it like a vocal sample or something like that, or one more kind of cool melody or ARP riff or something like that. It just seemed like it was missing one more piece to make it really exciting.
Yeah, I'd agree with you for sure.
You're feeling that too?
Yeah, definitely. Like a vocal sample, some sort of, non-melodic, sounds, atmospheric stuff. It could have just been filled in a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Why don't you go ahead, Antix? What else did you think about while you're listening?
I thought the sub was good. I thought it had a nice kind of thick, warm sounding sub. It definitely had that old school. The drums definitely reminded me of stuff that was like, circa 2010, which is nice. I like not having it, too ridiculous over the top. I'd say that yeah, it definitely had that old school vibe, but he had all the elements down. The mix I thought was nice, but if that's what he was going for, then he definitely nailed it.
Definitely. Yeah. Do you think the basses did sound a little dated to me, which is almost like coming back around anyway? But maybe add a layer to make them a little less simple or something.
Yeah, I found that they didn't have as much movement as I would have liked. That's personally, I like a lot of movement in the basses as well. As there was definitely some filter, but you can get more dynamics out of it. You could even widen up the bass too. I felt like it was pretty
Straight in the center channel.
One dimensional. Yeah.
Yeah, just copy paste your bass, twist some knobs, high pass filter it, and make it wider and blend it in. You're golden.
the second bass too, the high pitched noise kind of came out of nowhere for me. I felt like if there was something to critique about the mix, it would be to maybe round that off a bit more. Volume could work, but I felt like it had a different frequency palette and different frequencies. It had a much different frequency range than the basses before, so maybe tone it down or maybe round it out a bit just to fit into the track a bit better.
Definitely. Heretic's in the chat and he said, could it be a little brighter? If you're talking about the bass, maybe, but the whole track is actually really bright. It was like on the verge of too bright, I think, for me. There's a lot of like white noise kind of soundingness in the percussion. But
yeah, I thought maybe I'm gonna maybe disagree with you, but I'm gonna say maybe the percussion could have been brightened up a bit to match the bass. But that's matter of opinion sort of thing.
I need to have like the boxing ring sound. Ding ding ding.
Shots fired.
Fight. All right, Mel, did you get a chance to listen?
Yeah, I listened back. It sounded so much better through Media Player. Definite. It had like an old school sort of vibe, and it had like sort of like a sarcastic bass line, I thought. I like the little switch at 1 minute 8. I think it switched then. That was pretty cool. And the criticism I say is like beef the snare. It's sort of like you've got like a heavy kick with it's quite a long kick. It's got like a little bit of overhang on it. It's quite beefy in that, but that's probably what he's going for. But the snare is just, in comparison, it's just a little bit weak compared to the kick, I'd say. So maybe just beef that up a bit.
I feel like I got lost too. When the bass came in and when the sub came in too, the snare really ducked out of everything. And in the beginning you could hear it, but I totally agree with you.
Yeah, like in the mix.
Sweet, nice one.
Beef.
Thank you, Heretic, for sending that in. Let's do, because I know he always has to peace out early. Let's do this Whitcomb track. And if you guys don't know Whitcomb, he does live production on Redline Reload, and I think this is one that he's currently working on. So if you go to the Redline Reload YouTube, which I'll link while we're listening, you can see this track being made from scratch. and he does this twice a week, which is super cool. So it's
what's the track name called?
Da Ninja.
Oh, okay. Word.
The Ninja 5-9. That's the date. Whip
5,
2.
9, 16, Whip 2. Yeah.
Whip 56.
That's a
Alright,
real
we got
track
it.
name.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, play.
Mental energy. There are spurts of mental energy. There are spurts of mental. There are spurts of mental energy as well as physical. And at other times, nothing seems to be happening. Mental, physical. There are spurts of mental energy as well as physical. And at other times, nothing seems to be happening. Mental, physical.
I'm a motherfucking ninja. I'm a motherfucking ninja.
Sounds like a whip.
In both physical and mental activities. He's usually slightly bigger or stronger.
I forgot that they couldn't hear the air horn if I muted myself. Whoops. Welcome back.
Way.
Yeah.
Everyone's going old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Taking
know.
it back.
I've been not feeling a lot of modern dubstep lately, so maybe other people aren't feeling it. So they're going back to the when they enjoyed it.
I don't blame him.
Statement. Thanks Whitcomb for sending this in. Let's start with Antix on this one. What are your thoughts?
Cool. I wrote my list
Nice.
this time. So I mean, I hope this doesn't come off as me just absolutely tearing the track apart. But there were a bunch of things that, you know, take it or leave it. The mix definitely right off the bat could hear that the mix really lent itself to the high end. Personally, I mean, I would maybe take out a bit, maybe not necessarily shelf, but just roll off some of the synths. I don't know if it's a master thing too, because the whole mix did sound very high end leaning, I guess is a way I would say it. And then once it got to the build up, it was a lot of high end stuff, and I found that I was kind of missing some low end, something to kind of push the energy up towards the drop. I know if I was mixing a track like that I would want, and that, you know, it was that build on its own that I would want, you know, some serious energy. So maybe like a subtone, or like a sine tone just up at the bottom at the same time, or you know, some drums building up, something like that, something that just fills in that lower mid. I thought the kick and the snare were great, actually, to, you know, in the mix and with the basses and everything in the drop. And but at 118, when it kind of switched to that a little breaksy part, kind of lost me a bit. I feel like it dropped in energy.
Like the breakdown, the dubstep-y part?
Not just before that, actually. So it was like, it was the 4 to the floor, and then it had a little bit of a breaks shuffle going on for a bit with the melodies on top, and then it dropped in the dubstep thing. I mean, maybe it's just like a syntax thing. Maybe it could be in another spot. But I found like I lost a little bit of energy there, and then it brought it back up with the dubstep part. And then the dubstep part, you know, when you do a dubstep, like a halftime for an electro beat, you there's a lot of space because you're around 128, 130. So there's even more space than if you're in 140. So it's really important to keep some sort of background going on, whether it be like a vocal on an off hit or like a little like
the
it's something
reggae
like that,
chord.
something to that effect that kind of fills in those spots. And I was kind of missing that in the dubstep part. And yeah, I think that's about it. But
Yeah, that's stuff I was gonna touch on too, especially the emptiness of the dubstep part. You know, you need like a longer snare tail and then do like the offbeat reggae chords or something, you know, to fill that out. It's always tough. What else did I write down? Intro, more effects. So I think you were talking about filling up the mid-range, but I was just like, I don't mind the intro. I just feel like it needs those sweeps and impacts and stuff that makes it a little more exciting and filled out. But dig it. Mel?
Yeah, I agree with the add more effects and that. For some reason, I wrote down 1 minute 20, but I didn't write what. Something must have happened.
It's the same. Actually, I wrote 1 minute 18. It was that breaks part that I was talking about.
Oh,
so it must
right.
have been the same thing.
It switched into that part then. Yeah, I think that part sort of the dubsteppy part reminded me of like Bar 9 or something. I like the snare he had, but maybe like make more of like a Bar 9 sort of snare, like proper like over the top, like smash. The melodies were fun, old school vibes, good flow. Only other criticism was there was like a ride or a cymbal. It was just a little bit out there in the mix, like compared to everything else, because everything else was quite like gelled together. So that's my thoughts.
Sweet. Nicely done. Yeah, so make sure you head over to the YouTube channel. I'll link that. Sorry for missing the SoundCloud links, but thank you for letting me know that I missed them. YouTube, Redline.
Hey, your picture, Andrew, is just like, it's like I can't. It's like deep thought or you're having a shit.
Brilliant.
Yeah, everyone go follow these dudes. They're bold enough and to send their tracks in and
The few, the
have
proud.
them get critiqued and torn apart. So definitely deserve the follow.
Definitely.
They
All right.
deserve a follow.
Let's go to Wampa Anxiety. I know he's in the chat.
Cool.
There's a clip. All right, you guys got the tune?
Got it loaded yet?
Yeah, got it on.
3, 2, 1, play.
Bruh.
Brah.
Was there like a chicken synth in there, or was it just me? Is it like a chicken sound?
I didn't hear it, but
There was. Listen back and think there's definitely a chicken. Is he in the chat?
Yeah, he's in the chat.
we must know.
We must know. There was some sort of chicken sound.
Watch, it's gonna be like, yeah, I'm actually a chicken farmer, and that was Clint, the chicken. Clint is a good name for chicken.
Clint.
Let's start with Antix again.
All right, I really dug that one actually. As I've got a soft spot for the aggressive, but not over the top aggressive sort of dubstep. Definitely love the synths. I love creative synths, no matter what they are, no matter how they sound. I like people making something that's different, and I thought that was a really cool set of bass lines that he had for that track. The one thing that actually stood out, and this is the only critique I'm going to make of this track, because I think he definitely had a solid idea of what he wanted it to sound like. I think he definitely achieved that. It's just the mix. I found that the kick was interfering with the sub quite a bit, and that's it. I would just, whatever you need to do, volume shape, sidechain, just a little bit more release, I guess, or whatever they use in volume shape. I think they just use like a table or with the points in the shelf. But yeah, I mean that's it.
Do you think were you hearing the kick distort the sub in the master? Is that what you were hearing?
I couldn't tell actually if it was the tail of the kick or the sub itself.
Okay.
But I definitely heard some clipping.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this was like tastefully clipped because everybody's clipping now and you can do it really nice and make it edgy. But then some of it, I did write down that it was either a bass wasn't high pass filtered enough, or sometimes when you clip a master a lot and you have too much high end in a bass, it anti-aliases or something and makes low mid frequencies you didn't want. And it definitely could have been a little cleaner.
Yeah.
Is kind of what I was thinking. I don't know if you heard that. No chickens though.
I swear, one of the simps sounded like a chicken.
It's like the weirdest tinnitus case ever. Chicken ears. What else did I write down? I saw someone in the chat say they didn't like the melody. I actually do like that atonal intro, just because it's different and it's cool and it does cause anxiety. And then when those sounds came back in the drop, it was like 32 in, I think. And it played for 8 bars. And those weren't as atonal, I don't think. Those kind of mashed. Oh my goodness, I can hear myself and it's annoying. Those kind of mixed with the sub bass. And I wanted those to even go longer. I think it went for 8 bars instead of 16 bars, and I wanted it even longer. And then when they came in and did the double time ARP thing, kind of in the breakdown, I thought that was really cool. But, oh my goodness, I can hear myself and it's annoying. But yeah, I really enjoyed this too. It had some cool rhythms. I think some of the basses were just like tastefully behind the beat, which kind of gave it a cool feel. Nice one. Mel?
Yeah, I'm just annoyed that no one else heard the chicken synth, to be honest. It might be like too much wine, I don't know, but I definitely heard it. I thought it was a cool track. I thought it was pretty fun. Good synths, I liked it. I definitely think it was a little boosted, like you said earlier about the kick or something interfering with the bass. I think it was a little clipped, like slightly distorted. It could do with a switch up, I think. It sort of it started off really well, and then it went into like, you were just going back and forth in the basses, then it went to a breakdown, then it did the same thing again. So maybe just like a little switch up, maybe some different basses or just a different pattern or something. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like what you got though.
Yeah, no, this one was sick. Especially whenever it's done, send it back to all of us, 'cause I would play it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. And just as far as the switch up, as long as it's not a switch up where it's just one really long note held for a long time, then you're good.
We make fun of sustain basses.
I didn't want to say it, but that would work.
Well, it looks like we got Seriph joining us.
Tight.
Maybe. Looks like he didn't answer.
What an intro.
Is that the right Seriph?
There you go.
You just like
Maybe not.
searched Seriph on there and it's somebody else. Yeah, I actually make fonts. Yeah. Let me pick the next track. That was a bad joke.
I got it. I laughed on the inside, Andrew.
Just holding the laughter back.
It was hard.
Professional. Let's do this DJ View tune.
Cool.
Emanation. If I remember correctly, when I previewed this, it's loud. Really
All right.
loud.
Good to know.
While we try to get Seriph on the call. Alright, he's calling me now. I'll hit add to group.
Oh.
Maybe that'll do
There
it.
we go.
Oh, here we go. Oh, he's not gonna have the tunes, is he?
Yeah, I got the link. But we can't hear you, Sans Seriph.
What's he doing?
Hello.
Hey!
Ha.
Hello.
Yo.
Yo,
What up,
yo,
mate?
yo.
Don't know why my video isn't showing, but if you guys can hear me, I can hear all of you.
Sweet. In the chat, I linked the Google Drive with the tracks we're listening to.
The Skype
Everybody
chat.
shout out Seriph. Yeah.
I should hope not the Twitch chat.
I have been so close to doing that. Just be like, well, tons of free downloads, guys. Yeah, so we're going to do the DJ View Emanation tune.
Right.
Seriph, have you been on this show? I can't remember.
Yeah, like
Yeah, yes, yeah.
3 weeks ago or something.
Hmm. That's right. Who else was there?
Sudden death.
Ah, I remember now. So you remember to mute your mic, all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet, you got the tune?
Actually, it says I'm still calling you, so I can't even access the
I'll
chat.
send it to you separately.
Yeah, do a direct message via Skype.
Skype is super whack for us on this show.
Skype has just been weird lately.
Well, I'll send it to his Facebook.
Okay, I just got it from.
Yeah, I just sent it.
Oh.
Slid into the DMs.
What am I even writing on? Oh, it's some direct deposit.
DJ
This is actually kind of
V's.
important. Shit. Fuck. I
Yeah.
need this for work.
For taxes. Okay, yeah, DJ View tune. Got it now?
Yep.
Sweet. 3, 2,
got it, got it.
1, compression. Yo!
Aye.
That reverb gets me every time.
I love
So wet. So wet.
Sick. All right, I downloaded one extra track, and I threw it into the drive. If you guys want to grab that while we're chatting, it's
Oh.
called Flux. Yeah, by Last Voyage. He just sent it in. So,
What's it called? Flux.
yeah, Flux. Yee.
Oh, there it is.
I'm gonna start while you guys get that track. Love the intro. Personally, I love half-step chord progressions. You'll hear it in a lot of my music.
Oh.
I think it reminds me of video games. I think it also means... I think it works into Lydian, which I really like the Lydian mode. So that's sick. Intro and breakdown are great. There's like fully sounding samples and arps. It's cool. And I love the first 2 hits of the drop, and then not as much after that. Like, for a couple reasons, like personal taste reasons, but also I think it loses... It's not as funky as it could be, and it might just be a little too loud for the sub. I'm interested to see what other people think of the mixdown and the mastering. But those are my thoughts on it. Really love the intro and the breakdown. That was super cool. Oop, my Skype is all messed up. Oh, it's not that bad. Let's go to Sub Antix. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the sub was definitely hiding. I felt like, because the basses were so loud. Another thing I would say is that I found that if there's times where the snare was just not there, depending on what bass was playing. I found that the snare, 2 reasons it could be: one, that it's not sidechained, or that it's not loud enough, or that it's missing a tail. People prefer those really sharp, snappy snares. So I can't really critique the tail part, but I feel like it could have poked out a bit more, or it could have been just louder. I thought the intro was great, though. I really like the intro.
Yeah.
I like the same sort of video gamey sound, deep, dungeon-esque. And then the fills I found too. Did you guys notice that the fills were a bit just kind of... It felt like the whole tune was mixed in a certain way, and then when a fill came in, it was just like a completely different sound.
I didn't remember.
I don't know if you guys felt that at all. But yeah, just if maybe they could use a bit more high end, or just mix it into the track a bit better. And then if the basses too, I mean, I know what you mean, the personal preference thing. I felt like the basses were very, very just like right on, super quantized, super like one, like that's what the bass is. I mean, if there was more, even if it had like a short, like a reverb channel that it was going into, like a bus for the top end for the reverb, just to smooth it out a bit, or if the bass itself had a bit more stereo range. That's kind of hard to tell though, at least for me in that mix. But yeah, I mean, I thought the intro was definitely the takeaway best part of that track. I really liked the atmosphere that it made, and it definitely filled out the entire mix too.
Well done. Seraph?
I gotta agree with Sub Antix about the intro. That was really cool. Although the one thing that kind of threw me off was I felt like the intro's vibe didn't really match up with what happened in the drop. Even though it was a pretty cool drop, but the other note I had about the drop was some of those longer sustained basses felt a little abstract in regards to the arrangement, I think, and something about the arrangement just kind of made me lose the rhythm after some time. But other than that, I thought it was cool.
Interesting. So the rhythm didn't fit what was set up previously, or the rest of the track is what you're saying?
Yeah, like some of the longer synths that were used in the drop itself felt like I would have shortened them just to kind of match up with what the rhythm was doing, but some of them were like sustained to the point where I, just subconsciously it felt like I lost what the rhythm was because of them.
Cool. Mel?
Yeah, I definitely agree. For me, the intro and the breakdown was like my favourite parts. I thought you had them down, but the bass sounds weren't to my taste really. I didn't really hear any effects in the track, and I didn't really hear much percussion. But then when I listened back, there was like really, really quiet hi hats. If you really listen carefully, there are some hi hats
I didn't
back
even
there
hear them.
somewhere.
Damn.
That's what I mean. It's, if it
Yeah.
had like more like cymbals and prominent like percussion, I think it would have like gelled a little better. But I think he was relying more on his bass sounds. Like his bass is like the most prominent thing in the whole tune. Yeah, I thought the beat worked pretty well, but it was lost because the bass was like pretty loud on that. But I like the rolls in that you had, the intro, the breakdown, everything like that. Maybe just add some effects and some percussion. Maybe just like tone the bass down a little bit. But that's just my taste anyway. So
The only time you're ever gonna hear Mel say "turn the bass down."
it's rare. It's rare.
Sweet. Yeah, I wonder
Yeah.
if you could make a template out of this tune, or just mess with that drop, do like 4 different variations and explore what you could do, and see what kind of comes out of that, because it's got good pieces and we really like the intro and breakdown, so I wouldn't scrap it. I would keep working on it for sure.
I would almost like go, what Seraph was saying with the intro having a completely different vibe than the drop. I would almost build an entire song around the feel of the intro, maybe get it deeper, darker, and then use that drop and the ideas for that drop and the mix for the drop with a completely different intro. Because
Definitely.
it did seem very separated.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's like where my mind was going with the intro. I had like a totally different thing envisioned, but
Let's move on to... Oh, yeah, I didn't actually get the track from him. So let's do this. The file name is Still Thinking of a Name
Hey.
by Collapsia.
Got it.
Another show regular. You get an air horn, sir. There you go. All right, this is a whip.
Privileged.
Whip. Everybody got the tune?
Got it.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. It's so awkward when I have to hit the air horn now, because I have to do like 5 steps before you guys can hit it. So the stream's like waiting. It's like, turn that down, then hit that button. Sigh. I want to start with Mr. Suspect.
Yeah. I love the intro and the melodies. I'd maybe use like different for the intro. Maybe use like softer drums for the intro, and then save you like your big drums for the drop. That's just an idea though. But when it did drop, I felt like the drums you had sort of like overpowered in the mix a little bit. The basses were a little bit lost, and they seemed to all be on one note. The automation and the effects you did on the bass were cool, but because your intro and everything had like really cool melodies, like your drop just seemed to have just one bass note. Maybe just like switch that up a little bit, but definitely keep those melodies and that intro. So that's all I've got to say.
First.
I feel like drinking too much wine and half asleep now.
I'm super tired.
You still hear chickens?
No, I don't hear chickens anymore.
Good.
Seriph?
The very like maybe first 10-15 seconds of the intro I felt were a little muddy, but it was a cool intro. Beyond that, in the intro there was a lead that I felt like he put distortion on that may have had a little too much distortion. There's some sort of weird, like I couldn't tell if it was almost clipping in my headphones or not, but one of those leads was a bit too loud, a little too distorted. And the third thing was basically what Mel said about like the sounds on the drop were super cool. I was not expecting that. It was a really hefty jump up tune, but the arrangement could use maybe some note changes, maybe even mess around with some pitch bending or something just to add a little more variety, spice it up.
Spice it. So you liked the sound design of the basses at the drop?
I like the sound. I mean, that's just like that sound. I know it felt, or at least in my opinion, it felt like he only used one synth really in the drop. But I mean, that's a sound that I would like make. I really like that sound. So
it's really tactile. I think.
Yeah.
It's that kind of bass is definitely not my style because it's so atonal. And it sounded kind of like a pig snort.
Yeah, exactly. Very oinky.
Yeah, very oinky. That'd be a perfect name for this track. There you go, just oinky.
You can hear the pigs, you can't hear the chickens though. Fair play.
Definitely. Yeah, and I think that's on my mind too because my buddy Kyle and I were playing Rocket League and listening to Coal Chamber. Have you guys ever listened to that band?
Cold Chamber.
Coal Chamber.
Was it like an indie band or?
No, it's like an old heavy rock with like pig snorting and stuff like that. It was.
Damn.
But that's why it was on my mind. And then the other stuff I wrote down was like potentially change the intro synths, which is what Seriph was saying. There is a bit too much distortion on that lead, I'd say. And then the snare hits really hard, and it might be a touch too loud, but I like really loud snares, so it works for me. Antix?
Sorry?
Whenever you're ready, if you got some feedback.
Oh, you cut out for a sec. I listened to a lot of Jump Up. I haven't made very much Jump Up, sorry. But I listen to a lot of drum and bass, and I fucking love Jump Up. It gets me super hyped. So I definitely like understood where he was going. That I found that the kick was, and maybe it was the bass, honestly, because I hear you guys talking about it, and I'm thinking back. Maybe it was the bass that was muddling the kick, but I thought the kick could be a bit more pronounced, and that the same effect could be achieved with maybe making the bass a bit quieter. I definitely agree with all three of you about it being kind of one note, one synth for most of the track. Gets really boring really quickly. For me, I lose interest within 8 bars if that's the case. If it's just one synth, depending on the tune. But what also can keep your interest is fills, really cool shuffles. Stuff that Jump Up is known for. Just see those really cheeky little in the middle sort of sounds. Little lasers in the background. The combination of the fills, the little shuffles, and background noises really give a tune sort of that keep the interest up, I guess. And then around the minute mark, the pattern switched up, and like, I mean, it was different than the other pattern, which is good, but I kind of lost me rhythmically there. But other than that, you know, I thought the bass was cool in its own right. I thought that it could be definitely worked to fit a bit better in the mix, though, and definitely add more cool sounds, because like if he can make a bass like that, he can make other wicked cool sounds. So definitely just throwing them in there, man. Like, experiment.
Definitely. Sweet. So we are now in the realm of tunes that were sent super late. So check the box again. There's a Fury
Refresh.
tune, Flux, which I think you guys grabbed, and then I forgot to convert it from a wave. There's a wave file that's still uploading. Let's do Flux, because you guys should have that probably, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Flux Pavilion. Who's this by? I think I wrote it down. So this is a tune by Last Voyage. I hope it's like really epic and
Piratey.
Piratey.
piratey. And there has to be at least one chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet, you guys got the tune?
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
There was a little riser in that just sounded like your air horn. I kept thinking I'd just like turn it off every time. Kept getting me.
Just you want to say hi?
That's a feedback.
Guys, we have another judge. My cat.
Yo, Judge
Hey.
Hey.
Cat.
What's
She
his name?
loves Jump Up so much. She actually introduced me to Jump Up.
Oh, man, that is a fierce looking cat.
That is
She's
a
not
cool
very
cat.
happy. I'm
Yeah.
like yelling in her
She's
ear.
not really-
Sorry.
What's the cat called?
Trooper. We actually, there's really funny story if we can digress.
Do it.
I was actually visiting Datsik in LA, and Trooper, as like a 4-week-old, 5-week-old kitten, just happened to like waltz into his back porch area or backyard area. They were turning his garage into a studio. So the construction workers came at like 7 in the morning, brought this cat to Shara, and she was up working on firepower stuff, and I was up making breakfast, and she hands me this kitten like out of nowhere. I was like, holy shit, this is a fucking kitten. And it was like the cutest kitten I'd ever seen too. And my girlfriend was having a rough morning, so I brought her the cat, and immediately the Trooper just like curled up on her chest and like fell asleep right away. And we were like, I think we know what we have to do. And so we went around. Actually, we had to make sure it wasn't someone else's cat, right? Because that's just mean. So we went around and made sure that no one had lost a kitten on the block, and no one said that they had. And we had our fingers crossed right behind our backs. It's like no one said that they lost a cat. And then we took her to the vet and made sure that she didn't have like a tag or tattoo or anything. And it just seemed like she was completely abandoned. So brought her up from LA, took her all the way up the I-5, crossed the Canadian border, and now she's a fucking awesome cat.
That's
Very
amazing. What a voyage. Wait, what was the full name of this guy? That is the last voyage. No, it's not the last voyage. All right, I tried.
That's a cool cat story.
Yeah.
Cool cat story, bro.
I like a good rescue story.
Yeah, that was
cool.
good. Heartwarming.
Yeah, we were talking about it, and you're like, oh yeah, I could see us getting a cat, and fucking we just
There you go.
fell in our laps.
You put a cat
Thanks.
on the stream, we already have 900 viewers now. So. Out of nowhere. So I have so much to say about this track that I'm gonna wait till last. Let's start with Antix.
All right. So I think I was checking out chat actually, and Grave Hours, if that's or Gravers, I don't know. He said that this was like his second week or something using FL Studio. Like he's super new to it. I think or yesterday. Damn. Yeah. So mad props first of all, because that's awesome for 2 days in a new DAW. And I don't know the level of production you have with any other DAWs, but getting started on a new one's always a really daunting task. So that's awesome. The bass itself, like I said, I'm just a fan of basses that move a bit more. And I know it, and he could have been going for that, that straight ahead, sort of more old school, kind of that harsh. It's hard to describe it. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But I always appreciate a bit more movement if that was something that he was willing to entertain. I thought that the kick, I thought it just needed a different kick. I thought that the kick didn't necessarily match the rest of the tune, and to that effect, I would even say that the snare, when you're going for those big epic tunes like that, you want like the snare that just fucking comes out of the ground like shh, you know what I mean? Like you really want that big epic snare. Again, if he was going for like the kick and clap, sort of like more hip hop-ish drums, then I totally respect that. It's just if with the type of synths that were going on, I would have personally thrown in a punchier, more really epic snare and kick. The melodies were sick. The main lead melody is very catchy, hummable. You killed it on that for sure. And then I did notice as well with the kick and the snare that was a bit of clipping, but you'll get used to the DAW, man. That's a lot about working.
This guy just said he hasn't been using it for 2 days. He's been on it for like 3 to 4 years.
Oh, well,
He lied to us. He lied.
All right, well, then you don't get as much.
No gold star for you now.
I'll take
Yeah, I
it
know
all back
and
now.
he's like, nah, dude, tune's shit. No, I'm just kidding.
You like turn the page to your other notes.
You have a sound. He has a sound too. He definitely has his. There's definitely a lot of unique properties in that. So I would say definitely good composing, melodies, awesome. It's just mixed tweaking and general production stuff.
Definitely. Seraph?
I do have a couple notes too. At first, I was very blown away that you said that was after 2 days of using a new DAW. I was like, how? But one, someone, I think Keith touched on the kick a little bit, that it didn't really match the feel of the song. I was pleasantly surprised, though. The intro was pretty epic, but I felt like it dragged a little bit, and in my opinion, it dragged a little too long into the drop itself, which kind of threw me off. But like, if that's what you were going for, I get it, and I've done that before. But what kind of makes it work better if you have that lead progress into the drop itself is to either take your melody from the lead and chop it up so that it has more room for the synths in the drop, or either just completely take the synth being used for the melody and change it so that it fits better with the drop. Because at that point, I felt like, is this like a false drop? Is it going to build into something else? Or is this melody supposed to play with the drop right now? I wasn't really sure what was happening. And then for the bridge was really cool, but kind of the same concept for the bridge. Like, you had a really good idea for the bridge, but it was the same synths and the same melodies as the intro. And I feel like you could have evolved on that a little bit. But other than that, it was really interesting. And has mad potential. So big up. Big up.
Mel?
Whoops.
You awake?
Yeah, really cool concept. The vibe of the tune, the melodies, everything was sick. If the track was called like Last Voyage, that would have like fit it perfectly as well.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was called, but
Too.
yeah, that's what it made me think of anyway. So. I definitely think the track was boosted, but that's easily fixed. Just turn it down. I can see exactly what you're going for. Like, if you made this about 7 years ago, you'd have been a king. But I still like it now because I like the old stuff coming back. So it's good. And the little ups you use like towards the end, they were definitely good. So just work on the little tweaks that everyone mentioned before, and I think you've got a cool track there.
Definitely.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Maybe use Last Voyage in the same way that Final Fantasy's Final Fantasy. So there's going to be like 14 and a half versions of him.
Definitely.
No, he's looking for a sign.
It's a good idea. Yeah, what did I write down? Sweet melody, so epic, so distorted. Why you distort?
What?
Those are all separate notes. Yeah, it was just too clipped. For sure. Especially if you're going to have melodies with space and verbs and stuff. You could just turn it down. 32 bars into the drop, really needs a new idea. Get rid of the lead synth and maybe use a counter melody. So that's kind of what I heard.
That's what I forgot to mention, actually. I was going to agree with you there. Like, the melody was like running all the way through it. So maybe you either take it out or switch it up, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's great. It's really cool. Like, and the reason I wrote so many notes is because I liked it so much. Like, it felt like something that I would like to put together with really cool melodies and super epic. But yeah, so at 32 in, there's a bunch of techniques you can use to make a counter melody or something. But just switch, if you want to have a melody there, switch the synth to, if you're using a solid, try using a square for a second. Make the sound different. And then write something similar but different to the melody and add that in there. Maybe make it a little thinner and let the basses come through or something like that. That'd be really cool. I think, so you do the techno thing where right before the drop, it's like, it's like looping the part.
Like Jaws.
Like
Jaws is
now you're
behind you,
getting
actually.
Like you're about to get eaten up by a shark.
But I was thinking at that part, you could do where you take all of it and you pitch it up and high pass filter it. I think it would fit if you want to try that. I think that would sound cool. At least I especially heard that on the second drop build. And I really liked the way you messed with the sub. The sub was playing its own melody too. I don't know if you guys heard it pitch bending and diving and stuff separately. So that was really awesome. So well done. Yeah, I'm going to stay tuned to your stuff because I really like epic melodies like that.
Yeah, it was also really obvious that he put a lot of work into it too, and I think that shouldn't go without saying. Because if you're willing to actually do that, put that amount of stuff in a tune, there must have been a bunch of tracks too. You can hear it. Then you definitely have the drive, and you're gonna make some cool stuff for sure.
Nice. All right, you guys grab the Fury tune. Swagga Swatch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you just added that one? Oh, I see
Yeah,
it,
I did. And then while we're listening to this, grab that wave file so you can play it. Not Julius, Jealous.
Jealous.
You're just jealous.
You're just jealous. Where's my chopstick?
You've added another one.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, refresh.
Jealous Pyramids remix.
Oh yeah, I see it.
That would be a great sample for you to use. You're just jealous, and then drop.
That wouldn't be cool.
All right, but for now, Fury tune. Everybody got it?
Oh, wait a sec. Fury. Oh yeah, here we go.
Swagga Swatch. All right, 3, 2, 1.
It's the police.
The mic on. Whoop. Is the sound of the police? I will do.
I was still
drops.
playing it, so out loud.
Sick. Let's start with Seriph on this one.
Can I go
I thought you called it syrup.
before I put my
Syrup.
No, that's
was
the Canadian
syrup.
producer.
Okay, I got it.
Get him
Intro
syrup.
was interesting, but it could use a little more effects, I thought. At least something to add a little more tension to the drop. Unless you were trying to go for more of a shock drop feel. The vocals are fun though. I liked what you did with the vocals. The only thing is you don't need that much repetition with them. After one point, like let the rhythm or let the what am I trying to say here? Let the drop do the talking, so to speak.
So like there was too much rhythmic density between the bass and the vocal chops.
Yes, well put. Thank you.
The rip of the night.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's it. It was cool. Good
Sweet.
job.
Suspect.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely old school vibes again. It's definitely a fan of like Excision or That Sick or someone. You got those robo basses down. The filtering on the bass in the intro was good. I like that, and I like the old school beat, like the kicks and the snares and that. I'd maybe make the sub go with the synths a little bit more because you had just like short stabby notes rather than. I think some of the synth bass was like pitching slightly and changing, and automation and stuff. The sub bass was like a little bit flat underneath it. Yeah, that's about all I wrote down.
I actually have one more note. Sorry to interrupt, but it was on the other side of the paper. When you're kind of the switch up that you had going on in the drop, I felt like it grew a little tedious because you were using the same synth over and over, but in a different pattern. It would be cool if you added in a secondary sound there, something with maybe a higher register and goes with the movement but does something different. Maybe some like high register triplets or something to switch it up a little bit so it's clear that this is the switch.
Yeah, I feel that. Keith?
Yeah, and right off the bat, I noticed that the snare, the transient in the snare was super low, and that gives it like kind of this inherent muddy sound, whether you like it or not, when the transient's that low. So I think it could be either a different transient layer on the snare or pitch it up, see how that sounds, because you'll get a lot more punch out of it and a lot less kind of tonal thud. I'm sure we've all made snares with that tonal thud at one point or another.
Tonal thud. It's a good track name.
Tonal thud. I thought the basses were cool. I mean, he obviously loves Dijasta. I think that goes without saying. They could be cleaned up a bit though, and that's within the synth. I think that's not necessarily a post-processing thing. I think within the synth, you might be getting some sort of take all the wow filter and all the stuff off it, and try and get a really clean. Either when you're getting that bass, you really want a clean starting root synth, and I think what's happening is that maybe the root of that sound is a bit muddy, and that's just translating across the synth and getting exacerbated from that point. Again, I'm just listening to it and trying to guess that. It could be something completely different in the chain. And I thought the basses could also use a bit of EQing, a little bit of just, that could be part of it too, about the cleanliness. And then I agree with the switch up thing. Again, it's another tune where the basses are super similar throughout the whole thing. There's a bit of filtering that was making it sound a little bit different, but the core idea was the same. And it's just another one of those things, right? Just keeping interest. It really helps to vary up the basses a bit. That's about it.
Sweet. Yeah, he's in the chat. He said it's about a year old. I just finished 2 tracks that were a year old. And it's like sometimes, you set a track down, you forget about it, and then later when you're better at production than you used to be, you can like breathe new life into stuff. I'd say, it's been a year, you probably have new techniques and ideas and stuff. The whole tune just needs some EQing, so it needs like a mixdown day. And then I would consider adding some like water Foley effects, because I feel like those basses really splashy, or they could be in like a cool way. So you could play on that by adding those drippy, kind of uncomfortable sounding water noises. But
that's such a specific thing. I would have never thought of that. Only you, Andrew.
That's awesome.
Well, that is exactly what I thought. I'm here to help.
Wow. Right as you said that, I'm like, I'm gonna go find water-flavored sounds.
Water drops are really fun to make from synths. I used to do stupid like bubble popping noises and water drop. I used to do that to try and make cool sounds.
It's fun, man. Trying to emulate stuff like that in nature.
Let's play one last song before I play a new one of mine that I made today. Let's do the Jolas one.
Jolas.
He's got so many things he can rip for his own music.
Dude, you have to go find that and use it as a watermark for all your tunes. Like,
that'd be amazing.
It fits so well. Jolas Productions.
Wait, what is it? Is it a new one?
Yeah.
Oh, brand. Okay, there we go.
You can have to
I think you've got to download it because it won't.
It won't.
Jolas.
It just won't.
Oh, I have to download it. Yeah, is it a Wave? I guess
Yeah.
the Google Drive player is encoded for Wave.
Lame. It shouldn't take that long. I've
No,
seen something.
and it totally should be coded for Wave too. This seems like a weird thing to leave out.
Handle the waves. Right, it's downloaded.
Speaking of waves.
Okay, mine's downloaded.
I can't do C sounds. I've never tried.
Just sample the Chrono Trigger.
Oh. Did you see me? I uploaded that like a year ago to SoundCloud. The intro.
I did. I
the
commented on it, I'm
bells.
pretty sure. I love that sound. And you get the little synth albatrosses too. Geniuses. The whole crew that worked on
Seagulls.
that.
Well done, guys.
We got it all downloaded.
I've actually put, just as a quick fact, I've put seagulls in 3 of my tracks. It'd be really interesting if anyone could point out which 3 tracks have seagull follies.
What are they gonna win?
I don't know. I'll think about it. It'll be worthwhile though. It won't be like I don't know if any of you guys remember Diesel. He as a producer, he used to make these crazy contests where he'd send you like half-eaten like cornetto or something like that.
That's amazing.
It won't be
I miss
that,
that guy.
but it'll be something.
What a wonderful flippery
I
nipple.
always thought that was really funny though.
All
You will
right.
get a bag of chips that Antix ate from.
Seraph, your mic sounds so good.
And a sticker.
Frame it.
Frame it. All right, let's play this tune. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get it there. I'm the pappy.
Boom, boom.
Yo.
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 Jealous.
We back.
Turn on your recorders. Jealous. All right. I want to start with the Trap God Antix.
Trap God.
All right. Yeah, because I've definitely made a trap tune in the past 2 years. So yeah, I mean, I guess lots of experience making this stuff. The first thing I thought was I would have put OTT on everything.
Yeah.
It's just one of those tunes where you're like, you need You just want to brighten it up a bit. You want a little bit more transient detail. You want a bit more just like everything that a ridiculous compression algorithm would provide. But I thought that first of all, the first drop, the fill before, I feel like just moving some stuff around to bring it in that sound. I like how it's like, the kind of trick drop where you have the sounds building up and then the main synth comes in and then the 808 comes in. I really like those progressive drops, but just maybe fiddling around and finding one that brings more energy to the drop. Love the synth. I think the synth is really cool. It's kind of got that. I guess like sort of snailsy, but not quite. A little bit of a little. What are they called again? Shit, the trick is. It's got that sort of sound to it. A lot of people are doing that kind of stuff too. So it's definitely not anything groundbreaking, but you definitely pulled it off. And yeah, that's all I'd say, pretty much. I mean, I thought that the drums and the 808s themselves were really nice and full. I would have just liked to seen a bit more high-end detail and a bit more oomph.
Yeah, I would agree. That was my main note was, I think the composition's good. I think you're also right about that progressive drop, false drop thing. It lost a little energy, kind of skipped along rather than being like, oh, and then it dropped. But really, a good mastering engineer could probably just take this as a pre-master and make it happen.
Definitely. For sure. This is like a mastering engineer's dream to get such a nicely rounded, track where you have so much room for frequency, I feel like. And the track isn't super loud. One of the first ones isn't, clipping in even the slightest. So props. Headroom is your best friend. I'm a huge advocate of that. I'm sure you are too, Andrew.
Mm-hmm. Not restream. Check the recording. So all these shows, just quickly, are backed up to our YouTube channel, which I'm going to remember to link again. So sorry that you missed it. Collapsia, we played your tune. Let's go to Mel. I
thought the progression of the tune was good, and the sound design, and...
Sorry.
Wow, jungle vibes. And the energy of the build-ups and that was cool as well. It's quite a hard style to get right, like mixdown wise, and try and get the whole composition together right. It's quite hard to pinpoint what to change and what to do, but I like what you've got so far, and I think everyone else touched on what you can improve on. So, but yeah, it's a cool track though. Good stuff.
Seriph?
Seriph.
And
So,
syrup.
I like the vocal intro. That was interesting because it was like, it wasn't even, anybody saying anything. It was just a bunch of random gibberish, I think. But
and
it worked rhythmically. Yeah. But I'm very particular about trap. I think that a lot of themes get repetitions, and there's a lot of kind of stuff that sounds the same. So I did like what you did with the synths, but to me, the synths, they almost just kind of sounded like Serum presets. And you could take what you have and work, more on a little bit of the processing maybe, or kind of working with the wavetables that you have in the synths to make it a little more interesting. Even vibrato would kind of change those synths to sound stranger. And I'm always an advocate of the stranger, but... and then the other thing is in your switch up when it went to kind of like the four on the floor vibes, you had a little too much vocal repetition with the vocal chant chorus thing that you had. And then I did really like that your bridge was nice and empty. I thought that was a good change overall in the pace of the track. Other than that, I would say with trap, what works really good, like they all mentioned earlier, the kind of fake out drop. You can kind of work around with breaks and stuff like that, like little drum breaks, just to add what's it called, the absence of sound. When you take a break from your lead and your drop sounds, and you just do some intricate little like tom rolls and stuff to add a little more spice.
Good sample right there.
Spicy rhythm.
I think Bauer's track, Roll Up, I could be mistaken, someone could correct me, was one of the first tracks to really take advantage of that in trap, that sort of trick drop with the boom, da, da, da.
Yeah.
So one element that has nothing to do with the track, then the main, then the 808 kick with the alarm going on, or the horn going on at the same time. That's something that you can like use as a reference, because that one has tons of energy and everyone loves that drop. Then the other thing that I didn't say before was the second drop felt a little bit disjointed for me as well. I would try and get a little bit more of a focused idea for the second drop. But yeah, that's it.
Sweet. Nice.
Oh, I
one.
did want to add that like the intro is just absolutely perfect for a Napoleon Dynamite sample. So you gotta pull that out and use it for sure.
So you're just trying to come up with specific feedback now. You got jealous.
Jealous.
Jealous. How did I not even think of that when I said that?
Amazing.
Sweet. All right. Well, we're gonna end with a brand new collab I started today with Creation. But that's gonna be outroing of the stream. I want to say thanks to everybody who tuned in, and thanks to everybody who sent in tunes. There were another fire bunch of tunes. We are here, if you're new to the show, we are here every Thursday. Demo listens every other Thursday, and then on the off week is Thursday Hangout, where we talk about production techniques and junk like that. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Shout out to special guests Antix and Seriph for coming in and helping us look like we have friends. So thank you. That's helpful.
Yeah. Thanks a lot to everyone for sending stuff in. Takes balls. I would hate doing it. Do we have time for like stories and general chit chat, or you gotta go?
Do it. No, I got a few extra minutes.
Okay, so when I was first making dubstep, I was up at like 4 a.m. and I was listening to Kiss FM. And it was, I guess, what would 4 a.m. be in UK time?
Really early in the morning.
Yeah, so 8 hours ahead, and it was this show, and I was like, "Holy shit! I'm gonna submit my music to Kiss FM because might as well, because it was one of those shows where they were listening to user submissions through Twitter, and if you said a little short bio about yourself, you had a better chance of getting on." So I wrote that I was Canadian, that I was like 20 or 21 at the time, and I was super stoked for them to hear my track. And this was a pretty old school dubstep track. I don't know if anyone here would remember Oracle. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, so I felt really confident about sending this track in because everyone had told me up to this point that it was a pretty good track, and I thought so too. So I sent it to them, and not even halfway through the song, they didn't even get to the fucking halfway point, the radio DJ starts snoring. I shit you not.
Ooh.
He just turns the gain down, just starts snoring over my track, and then they just proceed to fucking rip it apart, saying it was one of the worst tracks that had ever been sent. And like I'm crushed at this point. I'm like, I almost want to quit music. And yeah, they just fucking owned me completely. So I what?
Why did they play it? Just to insult it?
Well, yeah, because they were just taking submissions. So they didn't bother listening to it first. They just were taking submissions right off Twitter, right off SoundCloud. So fuck me, right? I felt terrible.
That tune was cool. I like that tune.
I thought
that was
so.
a good tune.
But
I used to play...
yeah, and that's just people's opinions. Just like we have our opinions. If you feel like you got fucking stomped on today by me or any one of us, just keep fucking doing your shit, man. Like after I made Oracle, definitely my career.
Was it Kiss FM?
Yeah, it was Kiss.
Oh,
I don't remember the DJ though. I'm trying to remember. I had his name burned into my brain because I wanted to kill him, but it's gone.
Bringing it back. It's bringing the memories back.
Yeah, man. I used to stay up really late at night and just listen to UK radio. I was like the only person I knew that was into dubstep, and they were playing some cool like garage at the time. I guess garage. If I say it with my accent. Garage. It just sounds wrong to say
It sounds
like
wrong. Yeah, it sounds like a garage in a fucking house.
Yeah, like future
Like,
garage.
Where you
No one
park your
says that.
car. Yeah, nobody.
But yeah, fucking, that just it reinforces the point. You know, you guys put it all out there, sending tunes to people, and you know, even if it's to us on a radio show or if it's to like a bigger artist or anything like that, just still keep doing it. You'll only improve from that. So thanks a lot, dudes.
Definitely, yeah. We tend to only, I mean, we give positive feedback, but a lot more criticism because we want to give you ideas for how to fix the track. But we really enjoy the tracks that you guys send, so hopefully that comes through.
We are actually looking for them bad points just so we can like help you with the track. We're not just saying it just to say it.
Yeah.
That's what we're
None of
trying
us
to
would do that.
If we didn't like the track, we just wouldn't say anything or not even play it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah,
would
exactly.
you prefer? Actual commentary that you can use as constructive criticism, or sick tune, mate?
Yeah, you don't want yes men. You want feedback.
Exactly. Yes, man. That's what it
Wonderful.
is.
W,
Yeah.
was the name of your tune Silver? Was it called Silver? There's
Yeah, I noticed that
Streamline.
in chat too. He was even commenting on the Facebook group that he was excited about the show. So I'd feel pretty
Well,
bad.
Let me look. That's so weird that I wouldn't have got Andromeda. What? Okay, I'm gonna check the email. While I'm checking, I'm gonna play this creation tune. If you guys want to listen.
Oh, is that where you picked Cray? I didn't even realise it was creation.
Cray
I
and
was thinking like,
Nasty.
who's Cray?
Who's
Who's this new guy?
All right, I'm gonna play it. 3, 2, 1, go. Yo. Yo, yo, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you didn't send, I know it's confusing, but when you upload to SoundCloud private, you have to click the share button, and then you have to share the private link, because I can't download that.
Oh, that old
I can't even
thing.
see it.
Yeah.
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 So Andrew, you want to hear my notes?
Yes.
So,
No, that was sick. That was really cool.
Mine-
I think
mine is,
that's an awesome mix, especially
Yay.
super tight.
very fun.
I'm limping right now because I'm at my buddy's studio, and I'm so used to my studio, and then he's in a newer place, and he has nothing on the walls, so the room reflections in this square are just nuts. So I don't know if you can see because it's really dark in here now, but I took all of his blankets and towels and I hung them on the wall. So
Honestly,
that
all
kinda
I
helped.
could see is like your keyboard.
I noticed it got darker.
Yeah, there's no lamp. I mean, there's a little salt lamp here, but
It looks
if I
cool
turn-
though.
I'm moody.
Yeah.
Moody good.
You're an audio engineer to the core, Andrew. As I would find it hard to find the energy to like decide to just throw up blankets on someone's wall because of reflection.
Oh yeah,
You've been producing in a conditioned studio space for a long time.
He goes the extra mile. You can't go without.
Are you one of those dudes that goes into a room and claps and it's like, oh, sweet?
Yes. All the time. I'm
Thanks
getting
for the
it's
reflection,
sweet. So like I've been studying room acoustics for several years, and like I've been doing mastering for a long time now. And so my ear always hears reflections and reverb time, and it always hears standing waves and modes. So like if I hear those things while I'm trying to mix, I get like really pissed off, and it just doesn't even happen. Like I'm such a diva about it. But luckily I can put on my headphones and just make it happen. But all right, we're trying real
It also
hard.
helps maintain the studio tan too, the way you got it right now.
I've only just checked the stream. You're like sitting in darkness.
It's still that was totally the private link he just sent me, and the SoundCloud link still doesn't work. SoundCloud hates you, dude.
W Spliff Dubs, no.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. We will for sure play it in 2 weeks if you can.
We're trying so hard.
If you can live that long and be around and not be mad at us.
We've ruined
because
his day. Ruined
I
everything.
do have to go eat chicken before I go play video games at a friend's house, so it's pretty
Important.
Oh, first world problems.
Is that what you do when you say you've got a meeting, Andrew? This chicken ain't gonna eat itself. Like.
Wife's like, when are you gonna be home? It's like, there's this chicken I gotta eat.
So, tomorrow?
So tomorrow. All right, if I'm gonna give you 1 more minute. You said sent via mail, right?
Well, that's gonna take a while.
Oh, because it's gotta like upload. Anybody got any announcements? We usually make announcements.
I was saying because you said mail, but
Mail, I got that.
there we go.
Send it by pigeon.
Smoke signal.
I've got some dope T-shirts that I'm selling. I'm gonna like shamelessly post the link in the chat right now.
Do it. You have the power.
He's been modeling one the entire episode.
That's nice. I like how that turned
Good
out.
look as Flossin as Melvin.
Yeah, they look really cool, though, I gotta say. Big ups to 32 on the design.
Yeah.
Yeah, 32 helped me out with the slimy design.
Actually,
Yeah,
I was
lit.
checking out everyone's SoundClouds before I jumped in here on the Redline Reload site. He's got some pretty cool mixes. I was actually listening to his latest drum and bass mix for the Redline Reload. I went through the whole thing. I really liked it.
Yeah. He actually killed
Serious
that
selector.
He like
It was
that.
a good one.
Selecta.
All right. I think I got the file, guys.
Woo!
Woo! Air horn is required.
W Spliff Dubs. Is that his producer name?
Yeah.
This
W
better be an anthem now. Like 2016.
I think this is the
anthem.
first time I've seen Dub in a name twice.
Oh shit, yeah. And Spliff, like Dubby Spliff Dubs.
W dub.
Do you remember Spliffy Jeans? Did you have them over there?
Spliffy Jeans?
Yeah.
They were a thing.
No, what are they?
I think that's a UK thing.
Sounds like it. We had
You
what
were
were they called? Damn, I don't even remember. We had these ugly ass jeans with like giant, colorful cartoon characters on the ass pocket.
Yeah, that's what
Everyone.
it was like.
What are those things called?
I had a not a friend, but someone I knew in high school, I guess. He had these ridiculous jeans, man. Like, they were, like, rhinestone encrusted and had, like, a giant Bugs Bunny along one side of the leg and, like,
Holy shit.
fucking weird-ass cartoons in the pocket.
Oh, I remember stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
He was your friend, but you just don't want to admit it now.
He wasn't my friend. I just knew him.
Someone
but-
I saw.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
just taught me
Across
how to
the street.
shuffle. That's all.
for sure. Wasn't my best friend.
I
Hey,
also
man.
got the drive up.
We all have embarrassing stuff we wore back in the day. It's okay.
Oh, dude, I used to rock, like, bright blue Hawaiian shirts with, like, a red baseball cap and think I was the shit when I was, like,
That's awesome.
yeah.
All right, it's in the drive.
Let's do this.
Dubby Spliff Dubs. Andromeda.
Here we go.
I've got to download. So we're having it.
The last one. Are you ready?
Uh-oh. We gotta download the wave. We're not ready.
Yeah, I know.
How do you get?
What is this fun?
That's cool.
Do
10
yoga
hours
flame.
remaining. Oh no, I got it.
10 hours.
Did you just throw a bit crusher on top of your voice for that?
Maybe.
You can just do it naturally, like.
Yeah. He's
Doesn't
got
need
a second
electronics.
set of.
If there was one person who would be able to do it in real life, it would be Andrew.
It'd be so awesome. Yeah, I do 8-bit Nintendo impressions.
Sure. All right, I'm all loaded up with this track whenever you guys.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yep. Same.
10, 9, 3, 2, 1, play. Nice. I'm glad we got to actually play it.
Me
It is a
too.
little confusing because I'm always like, and now you with the new system you can send it via like Google Drive or Dropbox or something, but SoundCloud Private is confusing. Yee, I'm gonna read off my notes first. Great vibe. You can argue that the intro and the drop have two different vibes, and I'm sure we'll talk about that, where it's like, I feel like with the intro being so chill and spacey, the drop didn't feel as justified, even though I do like shock drops, so it's kind of like whatever. Because when that gun cock came out, I was like, what? Because it was, it felt a little out of place. The only thing that I would do that would take this song like super up to the next level is check the pitches on all of your stuff. So there's like a pad layer kind of bass thing, there's an arp, there's like a bell melody, and then the drop basses. I think they were in 2 or 3 different keys. And so if you can figure out what each of the keys are, put them all in one key, it'll be a lot more pleasing to the ear, I think. That was like my main issue with the whole thing. So for me personally, that would take it up a huge level, because the mixing is pretty good, snares hit and all that stuff. So those are my thoughts. Nice one. Let's go to Mel.
Yeah. Andromeda is actually like Greek mythology, so I'm just reading the thing here now. Andromeda is a daughter of a king, and then she's like proper beautiful and that, and then she gets sacrificed to a monster. So
Oh,
maybe
wow.
that's why you've done like a nice intro and then a
That's sweet. That's like
a
super
harsh
conceptual.
drop. Okay.
That'd be
I just thought I'd put
amazing.
that up quick.
Fact check with Melvin.
But yeah, drums were good. The intro and atmosphere was good. The vibe was good, but I feel like the bass needed quite a bit of work because it was quite sloppily done. It's quite over, like all over the place. But definitely feel like you had fun making it. And yeah, that's all I've got to say really.
Cool. Seraph?
Yeah, to kind of build off of what Mel was saying with the synths there. First, I'm really like into like detuning and pitching and stuff like that. So I kind of get what you were going for, but I think in order to pull it off, it stems back to not only what Mel was saying, but also Andrew. You got to make sure everything is in the same key for it to kind of work with the detuning and the pitching and stuff. Otherwise, you're one step away from making a tune and actually making cacophony, which is the opposite of music. And it just like it doesn't work subconsciously. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
We're dropping all the knowledge bombs on this one. Cacophony.
Yeah, cacophony.
Yes. Yes.
Just
yes,
drop it out
uncover the
there.
Cacophony.
Yeah.
Keith?
I definitely felt the cacophonous vibe. The intro, had that kind of spacey feel, which is where, like, the Andromeda Galaxy. I get that too. So it's a cool tie-in with the Greek mythology, with the two sides. I like that Mel said that, because I always like to find deeper meanings in tunes and names and stuff like that. As far as the basses, okay, so you guys remember Tomba, right? The producer?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
So, absolutely amazing producer, no doubt about it. But the one criticism he always got, I like the stuff personally, but the one criticism he always got from people was that his stuff was all over the place. It didn't really have that one focus, a pattern that you could, remember, go to, something like that. So, and he ended up actually changing his stuff a little bit towards I don't know if he still makes tunes now, I haven't heard of it, but the tunes that he was making towards the end started to actually get a bit more focused, and they sounded incredible, and like it really, really worked. And the same thing I think goes for this track, is that, especially with the basses just being so insane, right? Like those sounds are nuts, so much going on, so many frequencies being eaten up, so much atonal stuff going on. I feel like you could take that whole bass bar, just cut it up, and then just find the patterns and find the things that you like the best out of it, that kind of give the song, some sort of a feel, some sort of a repetition. Obviously, you don't want to go too much, but you want to be able to get something that someone can listen to, grab onto with their ears, and be like, oh yeah, that song with the pattern that goes like with that one synth. You kind of want that because you want people to be able to say stuff. But that's the only thing really. It's just the basses in that track that I feel like could just need a good cleanup. But you're doing your thing, man, and thanks for sending this stuff in.
Nice work. We did it. We made it through the tunes.
Did it.
And people are going to
We
try to
did
post
it.
all of their SoundCloud links, and it's not going to work because I don't have links enabled. I'll just
I definitely
repost it.
think, I just want to say one more thing. Tunes are more memorable when they are a little bit more repetitive, when they have got a bit more
Yeah.
structure and stuff. So I agree with what you just said.
Nice. All right. Thanks again
Tight.
to Antix Seriph. Shout out
Thank
to
you, guys.
Mel's Fish. Shout out
Big up.
to Chicken in Sound and the chicken I'm going to eat.
Yes, big
we
up
will
Chicken.
see you guys
In a chicken-themed
All around.
session.
in a chicken themed
Chicken
show
session.
Chicken
next
chat.
week.
The chicken sessions.
All right,
Wasn't
y'all.
there that one
Peace.
jump up tune that the chicken?
Wait.
What the
Oh,
fuck was it called?
yeah. So
Oh,
everybody
yeah,
made fun
yeah.
of that tune.
Yeah, the one that everyone was sharing for a bit.
When you,
I
when
still
Yeah,
love
yeah,
it.
that's the one. I love that.
Because it was legit.
Yeah, I love that
chickens.
tune.
Yeah, that's
Does you're
sick.
talking about Natural Error, right?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
natural? Ah, Okay,
Yeah, it is,
cool.
yeah.
Go check that tune out if you haven't heard it, because it's cool.
That's definitely, you know.
All right. I'm trying to end this. Later.